Oh, I think today's challenge will be to do some photography without getting cow shit all over all of our stuff. Woo! All right, welcome back. Well, besides dodging cow patties, we are out here in the countryside today to practice our minimalism in photography, which is an awesome creative skill to exercise. Minimalism could also be described as stripping the scene down to just the bare essentials. You could think of it as taking kind of a less is more approach to photography, or going Marie Kondo on the scene as you look through the viewfinder. But essentially what we're really doing here is we're practicing our ability to see. It's more of a seeing exercise, in fact, than it is a shooting exercise, because you could almost practice this one without even looking through a camera. What we're actually doing is just trying to look more closely at whatever it is that we're photographing and really ask ourselves what it is that we're drawn to, and then subtracting everything else that isn't part of the essence of the subject. So I'm gonna have a crack at minimalism today. We're in a great spot to practice. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope that we can inspire you to get out there and practice this technique yourself. So without further ado, let's get into the shoot. So what is it about minimalist photography that makes it special? It seems somehow that when you see great examples of minimalism in photography, there's just this feeling of calm and elegance. And actually, as I was getting ready for this lesson, I did a little hunting around online, and I came across the work of a well-known photographer named Michael Kenna. And he has this amazing portfolio of very simple, minimalist black and white photos that inspired me to come out to this location actually and photograph trees. So we've got some cool trees kind of perched up on top of these little grass hills all around us here. And I found my first subject to go ahead and warm up with here. I'm taking this shot and realizing how challenging minimalist photography really is. Because even though I have a singular subject standing right up on top of a hill all alone, I can tell just looking at the back of my camera right now that I have a lot of work to do before I can really create a true minimalist shot here. But I'm gonna take the picture anyway, just to kind of get warmed up. I've got my camera on aperture priority mode, and I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot this one with f8 and a 15th of a second. I'm just using a little bit of exposure compensation because I've got some white sky and clouds behind my subject here. But that's about it really. Focus on the tree and snap the shot. So to get myself into the spirit of minimalism here, I think I need to focus more on what I'm doing and try to get myself into the frame of mind where I'm thinking more about my subject and what it is that really draws me to this tree, and less about taking a picture of my subject, if that makes any sense. So at the moment I've got a nice picture of a tree on a hill, but I'm trying to really think, what is it that's drawing me to that subject? I love how lonely it is up there. It's all by itself, alone on the hill. It's very stark, nothing around it. But actually, looking at the scene here, I don't actually get that impression, and I can tell on the back of my camera, this picture really doesn't do it justice because the tree is not really standing all by itself. I've got some complication there in the background with the farms across the valley. The horizon line is just cutting right into my subject at mid-height. So there's a lot of things that could be cleaned up here and reduced. I could pull a lot of that out of the scene to just make the picture more about the loneliness of the tree and not just a simple shot of a tree on a hill. It's a great location. There's so many different places we could point the camera here for a shot. There's probably 1,000 minimalist compositions just under our nose, but it's going to take a little bit of hunting around to really get a good shot here. Let's take a walk. Just stopped to snap a shot of this road here cutting through the landscape. It makes a nice line. It's a pretty simple composition, but I don't think that it's really a great example of minimalist photography, so gotta keep looking. All right, well, we have finally found the spot to take our minimalist photo of these trees, Michael Kenna style. I think he would really approve of the point of view and the whole perspective that we have from this spot. But let me tell you, this spot was not easy to find, and we've been hunting all over in the hills here, just looking for a situation where these trees are, up high and kind of isolated against the sky, and all of that junk in the background goes away so that we get that nice minimalist look in the picture. So don't underestimate that. That's really the name of the game here, is to put in the effort to really reduce the scene down to just the most essential things. So I'm all set up. I got my tripod. I got my aperture set to f13 in this case. I want a nice sharp picture. It's kind of a clinical composition, so I want everything to come out nice and sharp in this case. And I'm gonna bracket my exposures as I usually do when I'm doing landscape photography. I'd like to have all the exposure options at my fingertips when I come back to the computer. And I'm using my good old 24 to 100 millimeter lens at the moment, manual mode. And I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom in on the scene here and take my first shot, and we'll see how it comes out. So sometimes zooming in on the scene helps you eliminate stuff that doesn't need to be in the shot, gives you that minimalist look. So that can be a great way to go. But in this case, I'm actually gonna pull back and kind of embrace the negative space around these trees, because that can really bring kind of an emotional quality into the picture. And in this case, I think it's gonna make our trees feel like they're even lonelier as they stand all alone up on top of these little green hills here in the distance. So let's pull back and take a couple more shots for a different composition. I might just turn and point a little bit off center here too, to be a little bit less predictable. And we'll bracket this exposure just like the other shots. Check that focus one more time. 2, 3, 4, and 5 shots. And I'll just go in really quick and check focus. They all look nice and sharp. That's cool. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna go for a vertical composition here. Why not? We could get just even a little bit more negative space above our trees, of course, if we turn the camera vertically. That's kind of cool. I like that. Really reduces things down. All right, I'm going for a really extreme one. I've just got the tree way off to the corner and a ton of negative space. We'll see how it comes out. It might be a little bit too much, but you don't know if you don't try. So here we go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, cool. I think this is the kind of place that I might have to come back to when the light is doing something a little bit more interesting than it is right now. I'm really happy with the spot that we found, the composition. Everything's great except that the light could be better. So I think I'll end up coming back here and trying for a sunrise shot, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna show you all of the pictures from our fun shoot here in just 1 second, but before I do, let me tell you about the fantastic courses that we run over at viewfindermastery.com. If you want to learn photography in a clear and structured way from professional photography teachers, then come and check us out at viewfindermastery.com. We've got courses in all kinds of photography topics, from portraiture and sports photography to landscape and Lightroom, you name it. Of course, you don't have to take my word for it. We've got great customer ratings, so just check out our Google and Facebook ratings to hear what others are saying first, and then I would love to see you join us over at viewfindermastery.com. Okay, I hope you enjoy these pictures. I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. Please like and share this video with your photography friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Enjoy these pictures, and I will see you in the next video.